I had a dream we got Toad back, but in exchange we had to give up the Toad pet. To obtain something of equal value must be lost. That is alchemy's first law of equivalent exchange.
Welcome to another video. Today we are testing out the Adventure Engine, and we're testing out a specific card in the Adventure Engine, which is something that released recently. We'll have to draw it to see if we can, but we're testing out in Umi Control, and one of Umi Control's biggest issues right now is the major consistency hit that it suffered when the Foolish Burial Goods was limited to 1. Foolish Burial Goods we were using to send Ice Bear to the graveyard and search for our level 5 or higher waters. Made the deck very consistent since we had lots of ways to search for our Kairi Shin. With it at 1, Kairi Shin very difficult to get, so we got a new strategy, a new way to get Ice Bear in the graveyard. Opponent slapping that Max C in the old draw phase Max C. Make sure we don't have any fun. Luckily Umi does not summon too much. We are going to start by firing off Foolish Burial. We're going to Foolish Burial our Water Enchantress. That is going to start the Adventure Engine, and that's right. Adventure has a bunch of cards that draw and discard, and that's going to let us discard the Ice Barriers. So we do have to draw Ice Barrier, but now we have a lot of ways to discard it, and then we can search for our Kairi Shin. So we're going to give opponent a couple cards here. Search for the Griffin Rider, discard the Ice Barrier with that Faithful, and now we can search for Kairi Shin. But first, got to pay attention, alright? Doing that will lock us into waters, so we won't be able to summon our Wandering Griffin Rider. So we're going to get summoning right now, and we're going to trigger that Fateful Adventure, get the Draco back, and now we can get searching. Search, get our Kairi Shin for follow-up. Alright, so the Kairi Shin lock is what we want to do. Adventure is just here to get us there. So opponent has this Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. Let's bounce that back to the hand, get in for some damage. And sadly, we cannot have Kairi Shin lock and Adventure lock at the same time unless we're able to make a Stealth Kraken. But obviously making a Stealth Kraken also means opponent is able to summon their monsters. So, you know, a bit of a anti-synergy, but I think it's worth it for the ability to loot our little Ice Barrier into the graveyard. So let's see how it does. Opponent has been waterlocked. We don't have any negates other than this Infirm, but we do have the ability to protect our back row. So we'll see how it goes. Opponent firing off Cyber Emergency. Cyber L10 is here. Do not often see this in Cyber Dragons, but this is actually pretty bad. Special summons itself by banishing cards from the graveyard, and then if it's special summoned, it sends all other face-up monsters on the field to the graveyard. So that's going to destroy our board, so we are going to stop that with the Imperm. Opponent's L10 is now stopping them from summoning since they control a non-water monster. They're waterlocked. Umi control, blocking the Cyber Dragons, and it's that easy. All right, now, sometimes we get the waterlock and win quickly like this. Other times we got to fight for it. So let's go on to the next game. Alright, on to the next game. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe. And here's the card we're testing out, Curse of Aramatir. I have not seen anyone play this. It is mostly useful only if you're playing pure adventures, but we're playing Adventure Umi, so we'll see how it works. Pot gonna let us search. We're gonna get the Rite of Erismere. Obviously, in this situation, red is pretty great, since we can special summon our Ocean Dragonlord and activates its effect. Since it was a normal summon, we can still do our full adventure line. But the Curse, alright, has some bonus utility. First off, it lets you discard from your hand to summon an adventure token. That lets us trigger the Ice Barrier effect. We can discard Ice Barrier and then search for a Kairi Shin. Also gives us a body to tribute summon, and it has an additional effect. Alright, you can also give the token to your opponent. And if you have Ocean Dragon on the field, you give your opponent the token, they're locked, they can't summon anything. They control a non-water monster. So they're just going to have to go to their battle phase, lose the token, and now, you know, they're just falling behind. You got it all going on. So let's see if Adventure Umi has got it. Well, let's make that token, get our Faithful, activate Ice Jade Tremora, summon the Kairi Shin. That's going to trigger the search for the Draco back. We're going to search for a Sea Stealth 2. We're going to fire off our Imperm, get the Griffin Rider to the hand, discard, and equip. And now, we're choosing for the Umi lock. If opponent deals with our Kairi Shin, gets out of the Umi lock, we can special summon Griffin Rider and have a negate live. Also, Curse of Aramatir has a secret third effect. If a monster we control gets destroyed, we get to create an adventure token. And now normally everyone thinks, alright, because with the old Rite of Aramatir, that you could only have one adventure token, but the curse does not care if you have a token. So you can have 5 tokens. It's going to let you have it. Opponent playing Branded. Getting their Branded open, but they're Umi locked right now. No more summoning. Springin's Kit, the only monster they're allowed, so they're crashing. And unfortunately, they got a Bestial in the hand. Bestial is now their one monster, but he is thick enough to get over Ocean Dragonlord. So Ocean Dragonlord down. Luckily, we can get him back later. And we're going to get that token with the curse. So, opponent, thank you for the token. Well, let's get our negate live. Opponent passing the turn. All right. Well, Ash Blossom is here. Now, we could bounce this Bestial to the hand, but this set back row could be problematic. So, let's start by activating Draco back. Bounce the back row. Opponent trying to activate. We're going to use Imperm to negate the back row. Could have used Ash Blossom, but I think the Imperm here is better. Imperm negate. Just to negate that back row. Not sure why opponent set it there in the Imperm column, but you never know. Opponents do wacky things all the time. But let's summon that Ash, make a Baron, activate. Now we can actually get lethal here. We discard our Water Enchantress. Search for the copy of the right, and then we can discard it with Curse to summon an adventure token to our field, and that's an additional 200 attack points, and that's very lethal damage. Baron popped the Bestial, and unless opponent has another Bestial, they're taking lethal damage. So let's go for it. Cursed lethal. Activate. Now, of course, if everything goes horribly wrong, the opponent goes spelling. If everything goes horribly wrong, okay, we can't get lethal here. Opponent goes to battle. We get to summon our Ocean Dragonlord and make it so they only have one non-water monster. So we got a bit of an insurance policy here with the Umi. Sea Stealth 2. Let's get in for some big damage. Opponent down to 2 cards. We got Baron negate. Let's see. Opponent, what can you do? Opponent, Fallen of Albaz. Going to try and fusion summon with our Baron. So let's get negating. Fallen of Albaz be gone. Opponent, follow-up play, final card, triple tactics thrust. Getting that branded fusion. What is opponent going to brand a fusion into? They make the Mirror Jade. We just bounce it back to the hand. And if they pop the token, it just reattaches to the other token. So that wouldn't have done anything. Opponent crashed into our Baron. We get another token. Opponent, looks like you're out of plays. Jellyfish is here to protect in case there's some graveyard effect. Bounce the monster, and that is lethal damage, and you can see the curse doing so much work, making so many tokens. Love to see it. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game. Now we will have some sink or swims at the end of today's episode, so make sure you stick around. If you want to send a replay, check out the video description. Go in second, playing against Snake Eyes. Always going to be difficult, but Adventure Umi might stand a shot. Alright, we'll see. Opponent making Link Karibo. Going into a Diabellstar Black Witch, getting a Wanted, and going into Jet Synchron. This is not a start I have seen from Snake Eyes. Going into Borreload Savage Dragon with a negate. With that Snake Eyes in the back row, and that is their end turn. Alright, we'll see. Can we deal with this? Drawing into an Ash Blossom is pretty okay. Would have liked to have that before, but we'll see what we can do. Opponent activating Wanted to search. Could throw the Ash out here to see if Borreload will negate, but I think it's probably better to use Ash on a follow-up turn. Maybe negate a Snake Eyes Poplar or an Ash that they summon later. So we'll let this go. Let him get the Diabellstar. And now we have the option, alright. I said we have the option. We actually have no options at all except this. If opponent negates this right, we are completely screwed. We have no plays. So we gotta hope opponent thinks this is bait and does not negate the right. So opponent luckily letting the token go. So now that we have the token, opponent getting that Divine Temple, they're going to resummon their back row, getting that Flamberge Dragon. And really luckily we have this Draco back in hand. So we're going to bounce the Borreload, contest the Borreload right now. Opponent making a huge mistake, negating the activation of the Draco back. That is not what they should have done. They should have waited till we activated it to bounce. Now it's going to go to the graveyard, reattach, and now we can bounce. But we're going to hold this bounce for a second. Let's start by getting Illegal Knight. Illegal Knight is illegal and also pretty solid against decks that summon a lot of monsters, since its effect lets us bounce 2 cards to the hand, and that is pretty sweet. So what we should have done here See, I got a bit greedy. I should have summoned the Illegal Knight, bounced opponent's 2 monsters, and then bounced my Illegal Knight back to my hand. That would have been the smart play. But instead I did not do that. So a bit of a mistake. We're just gonna cope and go into the Supreme Sovereign. Supreme Sovereign actually solid here, because this lets us trigger the Supreme Sovereign with Ice Barrier, banish a card from field and graveyard, so we can get rid of the Borreload, or get rid of the Divine Temple, and banish the wanted Secret Sinful Spoils from the graveyard, stop them from drawing a card. And now we can Ice Jade Tremora, special summon our Ocean Dragonlord, and opponent will be water locked. We can get our Umi, start resummoning our Kairyu if it gets destroyed, and that seems pretty solid. But opponent has a Nibiru. That is a big sad. Very big sad with the Nibiru. Wiping our field, and we don't really have a good way to recover from this. I may have flown too close to the sun, or I may have made some mistakes, but we're all learning here, alright? This is, this is an easy scoop. They have full combo. They're going to pop the token, get lethal. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game. We got the Adventure Engine. We got the Ice Barrier in the hand. Opponent going first set in a single back row. We'll see what this is. Could be Labyrinth, could be anything. Let's start by firing off Foolish Burial. Get send a Pacifist to the graveyard. Alright. Fun interaction with Pacifist, alright? It makes a token. I didn't realize this, but it's got some spicy interactions. We'll maybe show it later. Alright, we'll see. Fire off our Adventure Water Enchantress to search, but opponent hitting us with the Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom negate. That is sad. Big sad for us. We were hoping to discard our Ice Barrier and then do our Kairyu, get our Pacifist back from the graveyard, but we're just going to have to settle for setback or pass. Let's see Stealth. Activate Pacifist. Token might save us, and we got Ice Barrier. Looks like opponent has bricked completely, so let's not punish that brick by setting an Ash Blossom. Opponent, we really need you to activate an effect. So opponent not activating effect, we draw the Fish Sona. It's time to get our revenge. Opponent, is this now a real game of Yu-Gi-Oh? I'm guessing opponent's hand is like all hand traps. We're getting Ash Blossomed. Well, luckily, we contribute summon. The forgotten method of summoning. Ocean Dragonlord, get ourselves a Sea Stealth, activate the Sea Stealth, go to battle, hit opponent for 2,000. We got ourselves a real game. Opponent, what are you playing? Opponent is playing Sinful Spoils Snake Eyes. Let's dodge. Dodge that Sinful Spoils. But now the field is open. Opponent, did you finally draw some action? Opponent giving us the token. Activating Max C on the token activation. Gonna let them draw a singular card. Token activates and token summon. Mandatory effect to search, and this effect being mandatory is actually super annoying. Opponent ashing the effect to search. They don't know we have no targets, so that is a third Ash Blossom from the opponent taken away by the effect of Pacifist. Very cool. And it's Kashtira's. This explains everything. Kashtira's are always bricks. If your opponent's bricking, they're probably playing Kashtira's. Birth is here, but no second Kashtira. Attacking into our Phantasm Spiral token. Gonna try and banish cards from our extra deck. I like my extra deck, and I want this Ice Bear in the graveyard, so let's negate. Negate and set the attack to 0. It wasn't necessary to negate this because it's going to get popped by Sea Stealth, but opponent probably didn't know that. So let's make it so that maybe they didn't realize. But let's send that Mega Fortress to the graveyard, and now we got Mega Fortress Whale. Opponent, cast your Birth, resummoning the Unicorn, and ending the turn. All right, we got the Ocean Dragonlord back. We got the curse. The curse is here. Get cursing. Opponent, banishing her from extra deck. That's fine. Well, let's go to battle. Now we're waterlocked right now. We could activate the Curse of Aramatir, discard the Draco back and bounce something. But we're going to summon the Whale in the battle phase. Opponent banishing cards from our graveyard. We're going to crash, pop, save the Whale. So Whale comes back. And we're going to end the turn. That's right, we're holding on to the curse. We don't need to use the curse yet. Opponent playing Dia Bellstar. Is this actually Sneaky Snake Eyes? They are actually playing Sneaky Snake Eyes Kashtira and somehow bricked. They're not even playing like a 60 card deck, and opponent getting popped by the Whale. And that is enough. They were waterlocked with the Umi. The curse was coming, and they couldn't take it. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game. I got a spicy Nibiru. Ended up cutting Nibiru from the list Because if you're waterlocked, you can't summon Nibiru. We're summoning a lot of bodies, getting a lot of tokens. Nibiruing our stuff gives opponent a very thick token, so that was why Nibiru got cut, although I do love Nibiru right now. In this specific deck, it is quite bad. Opponent playing good old Snake Eyes, so Nibiru gonna come in very handy, unless opponent does the ultimate combo and plays around Nibiru. Just possible with Snake Eyes. Poplar is here, that's summon number 3. Getting a Divine Temple, getting the Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon in the back row. Summon number 4. Poplar back in the back row. Summon number 5. Summon number 6. Summon number 7. Again, that Snake Eyes Birch. And this is not what I was expecting, alright? I was expecting them to go into some nonsense. Go into the level 3 Promethean Princess, resummon the Flamberge Dragon, but instead opponent ending on Birch and a Link Karibo. So I could hold the Nibiru, or I could give them a Nibiru, let them summon the Flamberge Dragon. It is a difficult choice, but I love Nibiru, so I'm going to do it. Nibiru time. Probably not necessary to Nibiru this board, but Nibiru is very fun, so I wanted to do it, alright? Sometimes you got to do the play that's fun, not the correct play. Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon is here. They get to reset their other Flamberge Dragon and go into a IP Masquerena, showing off why this Nibiru was not a smart play. Opponent getting back all their Snake Eyes and passing to us. Alright, well, it's not the end of the world. Nibiru, show off your power. Opponent summoning a Ash and getting Poplar. Poplar going to activate and search. Alright, very cool. Opponent searching for Sinful Spoils. But Nibiru can contest this IP Masquerena, so let's just go straight to the battle phase. Opponent forced to activate before we are in battle, making a Appaloosa. But opponent, your Appaloosa is not bigger than our Nibiru, so we can just smash. Opponent getting back the Flamberge Dragon in the back row. Let's smash. And now it's adventuring time. Opponent, Ash Blossoming Adventure, but luckily today we have Curse and the Fateful in hand, so we don't even care about that getting negated. Let's fire up the Fateful, activate the Curse. Curse, discard a card, and make the token. Discarding that Water Enchantress. We can get the Draco back to the hand, and now we can activate, get ourselves the Griffin Rider. Griffin Rider can negate, and we got Bounce. Well, let's bounce that field spell, so that when we summon our Griffin Rider, it will not trigger the effect to put the Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragons into the main board. And pass to the opponent. Opponent, what can you do? Original Sinful Spool, sending Flamberge Dragon, getting a Jet Synchron. We're going to negate the effect of the Flamberge to summon a bunch of Snake Eyes, but opponent has Imperm. Uh-oh. We're in big trouble. We are in the big trouble. Opponent negated our negate, and now they get to summon a bunch of Snake Eyes. And we didn't ban them from the extra deck like last time. Sometimes you wish you could ban all the Snake Eyes from the extra deck. And this is why Nibiru, alright, you know I love Nibiru, but in this particular deck, he's not helping us too much, other than being thick. Opponent, searching for the Snake Eyes Chase, activating the Divine Temple, and what are they going to link into? Promethean Princess, linking into a Swarm Ship and Blow Whale, linking into a Zealantis, and Zealantis going to bounce all our monsters and resummon them. This is going to pop the token, and we aren't going to get a new token because our token wasn't destroyed. Very sad. We're just going to send that Draco back to the graveyard. Opponent, firing it off, has to resummon all our monsters, but we still got a very thick Nibiru. And opponent, what happened? Opponent, did you play for too long and ran out of time? This is why you play Umi. Don't have to worry about the time limit. Your plays easy. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game. I was also testing out Gozen Match, which is backup Ocean Dragonlord. If you don't have enough Ocean Dragonlords, you can always get another with the Gozen Match. Opponent very rudely negating our Fish Sonar effect to search. So no Jellyfish for us. Luckily we have the backup Adventure Engine plan. Adventure is just got unlimited on the OCG ban list, so potential on the ban list this week that Konami also hits or unhits the Adventure, and maybe we get triple of the right. Who knows? Griffin Riders is on the field, giving us a negate. We got the bounce, and we got Gozen Match as a backup plan. opponent, negating our Griffin Rider. We're gonna negate the negate. Shuffle Griffin Rider into the deck where he's safe. And we got this goes and match backup plan. Opponent. Oof, Sword Soul. I am very sorry to tell you that you have been goes and matched. This will turn off Sword Soul's ability to play. They can, if they summon Micro Moyi, usually do mono water plays, but with strategists on the field, that is going to make them big sad, and opponent is done. As you can see, today I was the villain. Let's go on to the deck list. Alright, here is Umi Adventure, as I have built it in the final mode. Let's go through, talk about the cards. Double Ash Blossom, 2 Water Enchantress. We got triple Electric Jellyfish, Aishi Jamora, triple Kairushin. We got one of the Griffin Rider. We got a Mega Fortress Whale. We got a Illegal Knight, who is actually sweet. We got Gameciel, Foolish Burial Goods, regular Foolish Burial, which lets us send Adventure to the graveyard. We got a Pot of Prosperity. We got Right of Erismere ×2. We got Fish Sonar. We got Draco back. We got Legendary Ocean. We got Faithful Adventure, Sea Stealth Attack, Curse ×2, triple Ice Barrier, triple Imperm, Sea Stealth Attack, and the extra deck, Baron, Sword Soul, some Zodiac cards, which we can go into by doing 2 level 4s with the Chakanine, and then Zodiac rank up into Trident. We got the Kraken Spawn, Zeus, Nightmare Cerberus, Phoenix, Coral Anemone, Asa the Earth Charmer, Access Code Talker, and World Sea Dragon Zealantis. So I just want to talk about one minor, very annoying interaction that led me to cut the field spell that is also known as Umi Pacifist. So I showed you earlier, Pacifist triggers when a token is summoned, or a normal monster, and searches your deck, alright? If you have Pacifist on the field, and you activate your Right of Erismere, or your Curse to summon a token, the mandatory effect of the field spell will trigger, and that effect stops you from being able to summon effect monsters, special or normal summon. So that lock interaction means we definitely do not want Pacifist in this deck. It's just too much anti-synergy. And triple Legendary Ocean is kind of nice because you can activate it, normal summon your Ocean Dragon Lord, and set up your adventure plays still. Yeah, so the deck was pretty fun. Definitely Umi feels like it's struggling without the consistency of being able to search, so looting the Ice Barriers to search, pretty cool. If there's another way to draw and discard that doesn't mess up with your summons so much, let me know, because still trying to build Umi decks that are a little more consistent, because getting your Umi lock, once you get it, often will just win you the games. I had to cut a lot of games that was just like set up Umi lock and opponent scoops, because they can't do anything, so no one wants to see that. We let opponent have a little bit of a fight, that's more fun. Anyway, this is my Umi deck for right now on the ladder. Let me know how you like it. And now, let's go on a sink or swim. Alright, on to replay a number 1. We got Filthy Casual here. If you want to let us know which deck you think won, you gotta vote. Check out the video description. We'll have comments, or a link, to the poll. Looks like we're playing Umi Control with Pacifist, so same deck I was playing in the video. Let's see if this build of Umi is better. We're getting the token, and we're bouncing the token to protect our back row. No water lock though, so opponent, again, gonna get to do their full Math Mech combo. We have unlimited tokens, so we'll see what opponent can do. Opponent probably gonna wombo combo for a while. Math Mech Equation is here. Let's speed things up. Opponent making the Alimbertion. Getting the Math Meching it up. And we'll see. Filthy Casual versus a lot of characters. And it is Code Talker, Parallel Exceed, limited to 2 to reduce the consistency. Splash Mage, getting back to Circular. Using card in the hand to go into Decode Talker Heat, so opponent, 53% win rate. Their odds are getting better. Adding some cards to the hand. Activating Cyanide Mining. Are they going to go for Access Code and try and pop? Because popping with the Access Code is not going to work. Opponent probably thinks they can get lethal, pop the token, attack with Access Code. That is not going to work. Opponent going to pop the token. Token is going to come back. Okay, opponent, maybe they've learned now. Popping the token will not get them anywhere. Linkuriboh, summoning Transcotaker, Cynet Codec activating, searching for the Ignis Star, summoning the Kotaker from the graveyard. Mathematical Equation is here. Getting the Sigma, going into Link Decoder. I'm guessing they're going to Link Climb into something. Kotaker inverted, going into more Ignis Star searches. Alright, we'll speed things up more. Opponent, we thought they were done Wombo Comic, but they clearly are not done. Protect Kotaker. Firewall Dragon. Opponent's got 4 cards left in the extra deck. You can target monsters on the field up to the number of monsters co-linked to this card, return them to the hand. Yeah, see, returning the token to the hand does not matter because you deactivated a monster effect. Not even a monster effect, card effect. So we get another token. Thank you, opponent. Opponent. Gachari Ignis Stars here. Linking into Firewall Dragon. Firewall Dragon gonna activate, send a card to the graveyard. And it's the Cyberse to Save Worm. Cyberse to Save Worm says, when your opponent activates a spell, trap, or card effect while you control Link for a higher Cyberse monster, quick effect, banish this card, negate that activation. That will negate the effect to make a token, but that negate of the effect to make a token is itself an effect that will trigger the Pacifist to make a token. At least I believe that is the case. Let's see if that is true. Opponent banishing. Oh, not reading. Trying to pop the Sea Stealth attack. We already saved that from being destroyed for the rest of the turn. Opponent. Oh, not reading. Pop in the Pacifist. Well, okay. Now they're going to battle. Looks like this is just Capital City not reading. Opponent attacking into Phantasm Spiral token. Activating D-Save Worm to negate the Sea Stealth attack to pop. That's going to kill the token. But they can only attack with one monster this turn. Oops, big. That's a big oops, opponent. One of your monsters. It was the Transcotaker, I believe. Wherever it is. Here he is. He says you cannot special summon. Wait. No, one of them. Oh, yeah. Wait. I swear, one of these ones said you can only attack with one monster the turn you activate this effect. If you know which one it is, you tell me. It's one of the ones in the graveyard. I forget. Maybe it's Kotaker. Who knows? Back to our turn. It's Umi time. Let's wipe the back row. Wait, hold on. How do we actually Umi time, though? We don't have a way to summon him. That's why, another reason, Pacifist, not always the best card. I do love it, but sometimes it's not the best. Sea Stealth attack is here. Opponent banishing 2. That's going to give us a token. Thank you, opponent. Token going to activate to search. Opponent Ash Blossoming or search. Do we have a target to search? You're going to have to tell me, Filthy Casual, did you have a target to search for? Opponent ashing and not reading. Well, they had a whole turn to not read our cards. Let's see if they will not read again. Opponent still hasn't read. They still haven't read, and now they are done. Wow. Pacifist and Sea Stealth just completely destroying the will to duel of that Cyberse deck. Love to see it. Let's go on to the next game. On to the next game. It looks like we got ourselves a Tistina fan with a Fallen of the Tistina Prismatic. But we're going first, Tistina. Tistina Adventure going first. Alright, now, is this the deck list I made? It might be. I was playing Adventure Tistinas. I thought it was quite powerful. So we'll see. What is the Tistina board going first? If you watched my video about Tistinas, you'll know I played them going second. I thought they were pretty much solid going second only. I did not even try doing a going first board. So we'll see. What's the Tistinas going first board? Obviously, we're going to get the Adventure Engine online. Get that Adventure Token. Get that Griffin Rider. And now we're going to activate our Sentinel that was special summoned to search for the Demigod. Demigod activate. That's going to get the Breath. We're going to special summon the Sentinel with its own effect. And then use the Breath. Send it to the graveyard. Or sorry, flip it face down to get the Crystal God. But we don't have a way to get Crystal God on the field because we used our play to summon our Sentinel earlier. So we don't actually generate any interaction with the Demigod at all. So interesting. Alright. Tistina's not really... See, this is what I said. Tistina's themselves not doing a lot going first. Opponent playing Snake Eyes. We are going to negate that Poplar effect to search with the Adventure. Okay. That's popped. That's going to flow back to the Spell Trap Zone. Opponent. Oof. This is a big mistake, opponent. Not only is the adventure going to come back, you just triggered all of our Tistina effects in the graveyard by popping our spells. Divine Domain, Fallen Tistina, the field spell, all going to activate. Dracoback going to re-equip. Opponent Dramatic Snake Eyes Chase, going to place a Diabellstar monster in the spell trap zone as a continuous spell. But we're going to get our Crystal God. We're going to get another Sentinel. Opponent, 1 for 1-ing to get the Snake Eyes Ash, but they already used Poplar Effect. Oh, they did not use Poplar Effect to summon from the hand, so they could have added Poplar, summoned Poplar, but instead opponent going for the Birch. Birch going to let them special summon itself for free. And now we can activate the effect of the Demigod, since we control the Crystal God and the Demigod now. Flip opponent's whole board face down. Tistina's doing work. See, Tistina's ended up doing work, but only because opponent decided to make the mistake of popping all of the Tistina back row and triggering their domain's secret mode. Let's fire up that domain again. Domain expansion into the Defies Darkness. Banish all their face down cards, and of course this is should be easy lethal for the Tistinas. You can boost the attack points of the Divinity since we have the Crystal God as material, and that is a lot of damage. 8,400. Snake Eyes defeated by Adventure Tistinas. Love to see it. Going first even. Very impressive. Thanks for the replays. You guys vote if you liked game number 1 or you like game number 2. Vote in the poll in the video description. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. And let me know in the comments what you want to see next. Have a good night.